Hi everyone, welcome to Impact Academy. So today let us continue with the Indian Polity. So let us continue with state legislature. So we've already seen the parliament. Now let us look at the state legislature. So state legislature is part 6, article 168 to 12. So try to remember these things also. Part 6. Okay, it is in, what is this? Okay, part 6 is state government. So part 5 is union government. 4, citizenship, fundamental rights. 3, directive principles of state policy, fundamental duties. 4A. So all this I'm sure everyone is aware. So part 5 is union government. Part 6 is state government. And article 168 to 212. So let us quickly look at article 168. So starting from 168, you have chapter 3, state legislature. Okay. Part 6, article 168 to 212. Okay. So after that, you have the legislative power of governor. So from 213, it is governor. Article 213 is governor. Till 212, it is the state government. It starts from 168. Try to remember. Constitution of the legislatures in states. Okay. So presently, there are 28 states and 8 union territories. So previously, there were 29 after Telangana was added. But later Jammu and Kashmir has lost its statehood. So now there are 28 states and 8 UTs. Okay, so only 6 states have bicameral legislature. That is both MLA and MLC. Okay, basically a legislative assembly and legislative council. So if you become part of the legislative assembly, then you are called the MLA, and if you become part of the legislative council, then you become a MLC. Okay, I mean talking in common terms. So not every state has this, what you say, bicameral, that is both council and assembly. Okay, only 6 states have bicameral. Andhra Pradesh is one of the state which has bicameral. So we have both MLAs and MLCs, right? So Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, and Bihar. Okay, so only these states have bicameral. Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Karnataka, Maharashtra, UP, and Bihar. Okay, somewhat in the Deccan and northern region. So Article 169. The Constitution provides for the abolition or creation of legislative councils in states if the legislative assembly of the concerned state passes a resolution to that effect. So, if the legislative assembly of the respective state passes a resolution, so the state must ask that we want a council. Okay, then Article 169. So, 168 is Constitution of Legislatures in States. So, basically talking about the assembly of the state and abolition or creation of legislative councils. Immediately, it is 169. So, the state government has to pass a resolution to that effect. Such a specific resolution must be passed by the state assembly by a special majority, that is majority of the total membership of the assembly, and a majority of not less than 2/3 of the members of the assembly present and voting. So always special majority means one thing is it has to be a majority of the total membership of the assembly. Okay, for example, we have 175 in Andhra Pradesh, so it has to be more than half of that. Okay, so and 2/3 of the members present and voting. So on that particular day, how many members are present? Among that, 2/3 of the members should be there. I should vote for that particular resolution. So if you look at the composition of two houses, okay, assembly and council. So legislative assembly consists of representatives directly elected by the people on the basis of universal adult franchise. So there is direct election. So that's why we see for to become an MLA, you are elected directly. Okay, but if you want to become an MLC, okay, MLC, you are not elected directly, right? There are separate, what you say, graduate constituency, teachers constituency, and all those things. Okay, doctors constituency. So there is a certain kind of indirect election. The members of the legislative council are indirectly elected. Okay, suppose if there is a graduate constituency, only those who have graduate degree they will vote. Okay, not everyone can vote as in the case of assembly. Its maximum strength is fixed at 500 and minimum strength at 60. So we have seen in the parliament the maximum is right now 552, right? So in the case of assembly the maximum is 500, and currently there are how many we have seen 545, 545 members in the current Lok Sabha. The maximum strength of the council is fixed at one third of the total strength of the assembly, and minimum strength is 40. So minimum is 40. In this case, minimum is 60 in an assembly. And how many seats are there? One third of that. For example, in Andhra Pradesh, we have 175. So in the council, there can be one third of 175. Okay, so that would be roughly about uh, 87 point. Okay, something around 87. Okay, so its maximum strength is fixed at 500 and minimum at 60. In case of Arunachal Pradesh, Sikkim and Goa, minimum number is fixed at 30 because they are very small states. Arunachal Pradesh, Sikkim and Goa, minimum is 30 only. But in other cases, you have to have minimum of 60. A governor can nominate one member from the Anglo-Indian community if the community is not adequately represented. So we've seen in the parliament, it is two members, right? In the Lok Sabha, the president can nominate two members. In the Rajya Sabha, the president can nominate 12 members, right? So in the state assembly, the governor can nominate one member only. There it is two, here it is one. If the community is not adequately represented under the 95th Amendment Act of 2009, this is to last until 2020. Okay. The constitution provided for the reservation of seats for scheduled castes, scheduled tribes in the assembly of each state on the basis of population ratios. Okay, so even now we see, I mean, right now elections are going. We see a particular seat has been reserved exclusively for scheduled caste, exclusively for ST seat. Okay, SC, ST, we see all this, right? So right now there is no reservation for women, but recently that women reservation bill has been passed, so it will come into effect sooner. Okay, but as of now, only these reservations are there for scheduled caste and scheduled tribes in the assembly of each state on the basis of population ratio. Next, though the constitution has fixed the maximum and the minimum limits, the actual strength is fixed by the parliament. Of the total number of members of a legislative council, one third are elected by the members of the local bodies in the state, like municipalities, district boards, etc. 1/12 are elected by graduates. So this is called the graduate constituency, right? So 1/12 of the seats are elected by the graduates of 3 years standing and residing within the state. Okay, and 1/12 are elected by the teachers. So this is called the teachers constituency, right? Of 3 years standing in the state, not lower in standard than secondary school. So they have to be secondary school teachers, and they have to be in the state for 3 years. One third are selected by the members of the legislative embassy. So the MLAs, the MLAs also select the MLCs. This is called the MLA constituency. From amongst the persons who are not members of the assembly, 1/6 are nominated by the governor. So even in the council, 1/6 are nominated by the governor. Here, one person is nominated by the governor, and here 1/6 are nominated by the governor. So that is the difference between assembly and council. So if you look at the duration of assembly, normal time is for term is 5 years from the date of its first meeting of the general elections. The legislative council is a continuing chamber, that is, it is a permanent body and is not subject to dissolution. So one third of its members retire on the expiration of every second year. So a member continues as such for 6 years. So it is similar to the Rajya Sabha. The retiring members are also eligible for re-election and renomination. So this is completely equal to Rajya Sabha. Here also it is more or less completely equal to the Lok Sabha. Okay, normal term is 5 years, but if a statement comes that there is no fixed term for the assembly, you can say that is also correct statement, because it is only as long as there is a pleasure of the governor. Okay, if there is no majority or if a no confidence motion is passed, then the government will fall. So there is as such no fixed term. The normal term is 5 years. So however, the governor is authorized to dissolve the assembly at any time, that is even before the completion of 5 years, and this has been happening quite frequently. Okay, so the term of the assembly can be extended during the period of national emergency by a law of parliament for 1 year at a time for any length of time. So similarly, just how we have seen in the parliament, here also this emergency, okay, that extension of the emergency should be done by a law of parliament. Okay, the state legislative cannot initiate a resolution for that. Okay. So if you look at the speaker and chairman of council, so this speaker we are talking about the legislative assembly, okay, not about the parliament. We have already seen about the speaker, deputy speaker, chairman, etc. All those in parliaments. So in state assembly also you have a speaker. More or less it will be same. So the speaker is elected by the assembly from within its members. So there even the speaker has to be an MP. Here the speaker has to be an MLA. He remains in office during the life of the assembly. Speaker of Legislative Assembly shall vacate office if he ceases to be the member of assembly. Okay, so if he is not an MLA, he cannot be a speaker. Even if SLA dissolves, that is the state legislative assembly dissolves, speaker remains in office until the next speakers resume office. So this you have to understand, just like president, right? So even if the president term is over, okay, he continues until the next president takes over. So he can be removed by a resolution passed by a majority of all the members. Such a resolution can be moved only after giving 14 days of notice. So this 14 days of notice we have seen in Speaker of Parliament, also in President, every case. Okay, so he does not vote in the first instance, but he can exercise casting vote in the cost of a time. Okay, just like the Speaker of the Parliament. So if you look at the chairman, like we've seen, the Vice President is the de facto chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Here the chairman is elected by the council itself from amongst its members. So this is a slight variation. There vice president is not an MP. Okay, but here the chairman of the council needs to be a MLA. I mean MLC. Okay, he can be removed by a resolution passed by a majority of all the then members of the council. Such a resolution can be moved only after giving 14 days advance notice. Speaker has one special power which is not enjoyed by the chairman. The speaker decides whether a bill is a money bill or not, and his decision is final. Okay, just like in Parliament, it is similar in the State Assembly also. So, Deputy Speaker of Assembly. Deputy Speaker is also elected by the Assembly from amongst his members. He can be removed by a resolution passed by a majority of all the then members of the Assembly. So, there needs to be a majority. No need of special majority. Resolution has to be passed by majority and 14 days notice. Okay, even here it is same, 14 days notice and resolution passed by majority. So the deputy speaker performs the duties when the speaker's office is vacant. Deputy chairman performs duties of the chairman office when it is vacant. He also acts as the chairman when the latter is absent from the sitting of the council. So in state legislative assemblies, more or less it is similar to the parliament. Okay, so from exam point of view, it is relatively easy to remember. Okay, so just let's have a quick review again. Some states have bicameral. Okay, the 7 states which are having are 2 houses basically, MLC and MLA. Okay, are Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Bihar, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, and Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, there are 7 states currently. Here we have seen Jammu and Kashmir is missing here. Okay, now Jammu and Kashmir also has 2 houses. So right now it is 7. 7 states are having 2 houses, but this is the updated one, because previously Jammu and Kashmir was a state. Now Jammu and Kashmir is not a state; it has become UT. So that's why we have 28 states and 8 UTs. So there are only 6 states which have bicameral. Jammu and Kashmir no longer is a state. So this is the updated one. Okay. So in the remaining states, legislature is unicameral and it has legislative assembly. So for creation or abolition of legislative council, the legislative assembly of the state should pass a resolution by special majority followed by act of parliament. So this is very important. Article 169. So it starts from 168, right? So Article 168 deals about the assembly, 169 about the council. Okay. Now, so if you want, if a particular state, say Punjab, for example, wants to have a council. Okay, if it wants to have a council, then that there should be a resolution passed by a special majority by that particular assembly. And after that resolution is passed, then an act of parliament can only create a new council. So try to remember that. So state legislature by itself cannot create a council. It can just pass a resolution by special majority. The size of the legislative council may vary, but membership should not be more than 1/3 of the membership of legislative assembly, not less than 40. Okay, not less than 40 and less than 1/3. Legislative council is a partly nominated and partly elected body. We have already seen. Election to the legislative council is indirect. Teachers, graduates, doctors, we've seen, right? And in accordance with proportional representation by single transferable vote. So 1/6 is nominated by governor. So we've already seen, right? 1/6, all these things. 1/6 is nominated by governor. one third from the MLA, 112 teachers, 112 graduates, one third again from local bodies. Okay, one third of the total members from local bodies, 112th from graduates, 112th from teachers. So strength is Andhra Pradesh is 50. Remember this. Andhra Pradesh is 50, Telangana 40, Bihar has highest 75, Karnataka 75, Uttar Pradesh 99, etc. Okay, Jammu and Kashmir is no longer there. Remember Andhra Pradesh 50. So we have assembly 175. Okay, and council is 50. Minimum, try to remember these things. And the minimum number of seats is 60 in the case of assembly, 40 in the case of council. Try to remember that also. And one third is from MLS. The remainder is nominated by the governor from persons specialized in science, art, cooperative movements, and social service. So this is important. Cooperative movement. So cooperatives are very important from state government point of view, right? All the cooperative banks have state governments as significant what you say funding. There is significant funding from the state governments. So that's why you have science, art, social service, and cooperative movement also. The court cannot question the bona fides or propriety of the governor's nomination in any case. So this 1/6 of the members which the governors nominates, the courts cannot question. The legislative assembly of each state is directly elected on the basis of adult suffrage. Okay, that means anyone who is above 18 and has registered as a voter can vote in the MLA election, legislative assembly. Number of members of the assembly cannot be more than 500 or less than 160. So if it's a very big state, even then it cannot be more than 500 and cannot be less than 60. And in Andhra Pradesh, it is 175. The assembly in Mizoram and Goa have only 40 members each, while the assembly in Sikkim has only 32 members. So we've already seen, right? Few small states, it is reduced to 30. So minimum there has to be 30, and Sikkim has 32 members. Governor can nominate one member of the Anglo-Indian community in the assembly. We've just seen. Duration is 5 years. It can be dissolved. Term of 5 years may be extended by Parliament only in case of emergency by the President for not more than 1 year at a time. Okay, Article 172. So Legislative Council is called Vidhan Parishad. Okay, it's called the Vidhan Parishad, and it's a permanent body like the Council of States, that is the Rajya Sabha. Okay, it cannot be dissolved. Okay, the term is 6 years, and every 2 years, one third of the members retire. One third of the members retire on expiry of every second year. A legislative assembly has its speaker, deputy speaker, and a legislative council has chairman and deputy chairman. The provisions relating to them are analogous to those relating to the corresponding officers of the Union Parliament. So we have seen, just like Parliament, state legislature also has a similar this thing. Okay, qualification for membership of state legislature should be citizen of India. For legislative assembly, not less than 25 years. This is very important. This ages also you have to remember. We have seen for governor, president, and all those things, 35 is there. Okay, so president, vice president, governor, we have seen 35. Chief minister 30, and if you want to become MLA, it has to be 25 years of age. And for legislative council is 30 again. So if you want to become MLA, you can become at 25 years of age minimum. If you want to become MLC, you have to be 30 years of age. So similar to chief minister, should possess other qualifications prescribed on that by any law made by the parliament. So parliament, okay, can make any law saying that okay, in tomorrow it can say that if you want to participate from a particular constituency, you have to be a voter in that constituency. Okay, such a law can be made by the parliament. Of course, right now it is not there. Because in the recent Andhra Pradesh elections, we have seen that most of the MLAs have been shifted from their one position to another position. So right now that is not a rule. So the strength of the legislative assembly states usually UP will have highest, okay, 403. That is why those who win in Uttar Pradesh have a high chance of winning in the national elections also. That is why Uttar Pradesh is very important. It has the highest number of turns. In Andhra Pradesh, so Andhra Pradesh is 175. Okay, by the time Telangana is 119. So previously it was more than almost nearing 300, right? But now it is only 175. Okay, Puducherry is 30, Sikkim is 32. So among the states, Sikkim is the lowest, and Puducherry has 30 in the assembly. There are only very few like Um, Gujarat, okay, sorry, Delhi. Delhi also has, okay, Delhi has 70. Delhi has 70 seats, and Jammu and Kashmir is now no longer a state, right? It has been converted into UT, and Goa has 40, Mizoram, okay, Sikkim has the lowest. Puducherry and Delhi have assemblies. So, okay, other union territories don't have assemblies. They are administered by a lieutenant governor. So, comparison of legislative procedures between bicameral state legislature and the parliament. So, for money bills, the position is same. For other bills, the only power of the council is to interpose a delay of 3 months. In the case of disagreement, the bill is second time referred to the legislative council, and this time the council has no power to withhold the bill for more than a month. Okay, so in the case of Rajya Sabha, we have seen, for example, in the case of money bills, they can only review the bill for 14 days. After that, it is deemed to be passed whether the Rajya Sabha passes it or not. But in the case of other bills, so the council can have a delay of 3 months. So once it is passed in the assembly and sent to the council, they can delay for 3 months, and after that they can send the bill back to the okay, the bill is second time referred to the legislative council. So first they can send it back to the assembly, and the assembly can send it back to the council, and this time the council has no power to withhold the bill for more than a month. So first time you can delay for 3 months, then you can delay for 1 month, but after that you will have to pass it if it's sent second time. Next, governor's power of veto. So governor will look separately in a separate session. So this is all about governor. So privileges of state legislature. So privileges of state legislature are similar to those of union parliament. Each house of the state legislature can punish for each breach of privilege or contempt. Each house is the sole judge of the question whether any privilege has been infringed. Court has no jurisdiction. No house of the legislature can create any new privilege for itself. Court can determine whether the house possesses a particular privilege or not. So basically, privileges are same for state legislatures as in case of parliament. Okay, publishing their true reports, prohibiting anyone from attending the meetings. Only MLAs can attend, and all those things. Okay, Attorney General can attend. So all that is similar. So even here we've seen all this, right? So parliamentary committees we can see in another video. So that is a brief about state government. Okay, the composition, assembly, MLC, okay, council, and all those things. We'll continue in the next session.